Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's difficult because, as you say, new AI tools are coming every day and every week, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a little
Mm-hmm.
bit overwhelming.
Very true.
So, what is currently working is you just need to focus on one or two tools and be the best
Okay.
at it. You need to be really good at it. For example, for myself, is make.com and N8N, that both are softwares to create
Mm-hmm.
automations with no code. And whenever I have a client, I have some blueprints. That means that
Okay.
I have already a system and I just modify that system with information about my client, and I can create systems for them. But more like I would say like 80% of the system is already prepared.
So, hi everybody, those who are watching and listening. Welcome back to my show Experiences with Anish. So throughout my journey, we've been doing a lot of podcasts with a lot of guests. And today in this role, we have Alvaro with me, who's completely into building systems and operations for business. And he also does a lot of automations with help of AI and various other tools. And he helps small business and, I think even enterprises, if I'm not wrong. So you also help them with, operations and, business systems and all. So it's going to be like really a great talk because even I am like more into this operations and systems and automation. So like I would love to have a lot of clarify all the doubts that I have, and also to spit out like few truths on how to use the best tool out there. Because we have a lot of tools out there. So like on this podcast we'll be able to kind of dissect everything that when it comes to building businesses and operations. So first of all, thank you so much for accepting invitation and being on my show. So how do you feel, Alvaro?
Yeah, hello everyone. Thank you, Anin, for having me here in this podcast. And yeah, I'm doing great.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing AI and automations for a couple months already, and it's been
Mm-hmm.
amazing. It's been a great ride.
Awesome. And before that, like, were you all completely into this business and operations, using, let's say, for example, Notion, Make, or Zapier, those things? And have you just integrated AI into it, or like on the whole, have you just got into this AI on automations? Like, how long have you been doing it?
Yeah, so a little bit about me. I'm from Spain. I'm currently living in Spain.
Okay.
When I was 18 years old, I went to the US to university
Mm-hmm.
because I used to play tennis a lot, and I received an athletic scholarship, and I had a great opportunity over there. I studied finance and international business. And yeah, my main idea was to be a financial advisor whenever I graduate. But I discovered AI. I complete a master's of finance with AI, and yeah, I wanted to create something for myself and a
Mm-hmm.
business. Uh, I really like the idea to work for myself and to create something valuable for the future. And I see a huge trend with AI and all of these tools that are coming out. And yeah, I started like January this year, I would say. Maybe today is November, so 9 months already.
Okay.
And I try to document my process on LinkedIn and creating some short format videos. And yeah, it's been really good.
Awesome, awesome. So it's a great change, right? Like because you've wanted to get into financial sector, but like after getting to know about AI and you've got into, so that's really good, awesome. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Okay. Uh, since you're more into building operations and systems for businesses, like how do you define systems for businesses, especially like small businesses? Because uh, when you take small business, they do not want to have, or they do not want to use a lot of tools to manage their businesses. They just think that it does not actually worth the amount of spending for all these tools, because they do think that it's not going to give them a very good return on investment, right? So like how do you actually define systems and operations, especially for small businesses?
Yeah, so my main process is I usually have a discovery call with the CEO of the company. I usually target like small medium companies about 1 to 20 employees. because if the company is bigger, it's way more difficult because they have a lot of system, they have a lot of different corporation inside the company, and it's difficult. So the
Okay.
process is having a discovery call with the CEO or owner of the business. We study the business. We try to look for some bottlenecks where we can implement some automation systems, and
Mm-hmm.
we can help them save time doing some repetitive tasks, or maybe some call outreach campaign, marketing campaigns, and try to get more clients, because at the end of the day, all the business they want to make more money and they want to get more clients. So we just need to focus on that and try to solve that issue.
Awesome. So in this case, like, how do you actually convince the small businesses to actually get into building systems and operations? Because it's kind of difficult, right? So like, how do you convince them?
Yeah, so I have a funnel. My funnel, so everything is going to start with the content. You need
Okay.
for myself, what is working pretty well is I create content related to my industry and to my sector, and I try to gain authority in the sector. I try to become
Mm-hmm.
an expert, and whenever they feel like I know the stuff and they can trust me,
Mm-hmm.
uh, I'm receiving a lot of clients by LinkedIn from an inbound marketing campaign. So they
Mm-hmm.
know about my stuff. They are familiar with my face, with my videos, of what I do, and they say, okay, maybe you can help me with this, and we have a discovery call, and yeah, they can trust me because they know a little bit about myself and about my stuff, and it's easier to close the client.
Okay. Understood. That's good. Uh, so now again, like since we are like more into this AI, I mean, systems and operations, right? Like there are like numerous SaaS tools out there. Like, if you just take the list of the like for each and every domain, like we have a lot of tools out there. So like, how do you actually define, or like how do you choose the right tool? Because let's take small businesses for example, they do not have that kind of amount for them to experiment with a lot of tools and spend resources, time, and all those things, right? It's like very difficult for them. So like, do you have any sort of blueprint or kind of a method on like how do you actually get the right tool for the small businesses?
Yeah, it's difficult because, as you say, new AI tools are coming every day and every week, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a little
Mm-hmm.
bit overwhelming.
Very true.
So what is currently working is you just need to focus on one or two tools and be the best
Okay.
at it. You need to be really good at it. For example, for myself is make.com and N8N, that both are softwares to create
Mm-hmm.
automations with no code. And whenever I have a client, I have some blueprints. That means that
Okay.
I have already a system, and I just modify that system with information about my client, and I can create systems for them. But more like, I would say, like 80% of the system is already prepared.
Understood. Got it. So it's that, instead of like chasing, try to have like one such tool which has the most of the things which is required for your business and try to get the most out of it. So that is like, really good thing to start with. Now, when it comes to your businesses, like you obviously you would have been using a lot of tools, like as you've mentioned, your go-to tool is like for automations, it's Make and N8N, right? So in this scenario, not only for these tools, like apart from the other tools that you're using, like how does AI fit into your tool stack? Like firstly, you can just give me the exact tool stack that you're using, like as you said, Make, N8N, or Zapier for that matter, and like the list of your tool stack, and how does AI actually fit into those tool stack? Do you use any specific AI tools, or like are you using the AI that's already inside the specific tools?
Yeah, so mainly I'm using make.com. That one is make.com and N8N.
Okay.
And also, when I create videos, I use Opus Clip, which is a
Mm-hmm.
really good video editor, and I can
Very
put
true.
captions, and I can use some generated emotions.
Mm-hmm.
What do I use more? With some clients, if we want to do a marketing campaign, we're using cold email a lot. So I'm using Instantly and Smartly to create
Okay.
marketing campaigns and to send some emails. Um, Another one that I really like is Airtable.
Okay.
Airtable as a CRM where I can connect, make an Airtable, and we can do some CRMs, some project management adjustments with the businesses. And yeah, I just trying to focus on those tools.
Okay. So in this scenario, like how does AI help you? Like or like how do you integrate AI into it?
Yeah, so I'm trying to use the LLMs, the large language models like ChatGPT, like Anthropic Claude. And for example, if you want to create a marketing campaign,
Mm-hmm.
I'm using AI to create an icebreaker. That means
Okay.
that I have like 2, 3 lines about my client, about some information about them, and I can create an introduction with AI that is related to their information and to their company. And after that, I just go into the email and I go personally, but the first lines is always the most important because the first impressions are always the what lasts more.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm trying to implement AI in everything I can, but
Okay.
sometimes it's good to know the limits of AI.
Very true. Very true. Yes. And I also wanted to talk to you about this Instantly tool because I've been hearing a lot about Instantly tool and like many people are using it, but I have not got the chance to use Instantly. So like, what do you think is the special or like what do you think is the distinction of Instantly from other maybe email cold outreaching platforms? Like what do you think is the best about this Instantly and everybody are using it, right? Like what do you think it is?
Yeah, I mean honestly, I think that the best cold email tools are Smartly and Instantly,
Okay.
mainly because they are adding new features every week. Um, and the tool is amazing. I mean, you can do so many things. You can also um, you can find some leads over there. So it's the same as LinkedIn Sales Navigator, but
Okay.
it's now on Instantly. So you can find, for example, some CEOs in New York, and you have all those leads, and instantly it's going to your CRM, where you're gonna start a marketing campaign in less than five minutes.
Okay. And like what sort of data sources that you connect to instantly? Like say for example, can we connect with LinkedIn or like we have a lot of other like Crunchbase, these things, right? Like do you think do you have any sort of list of this data sources that we connect in order to scrape all the leads?
Yeah. For myself, I didn't run a cold email campaign for my own business because
Okay.
I've been lucky. I can say that all my clients, all my potential clients are coming from an inbound marketing campaign from LinkedIn. So they
Okay.
contact me and they know about me. But for the future and with some clients, we are working with Phantom Busters a lot. Phantom Busters is a scrapping tool where you can,
Okay.
for example, the viewers of your profile, you can scrape those leads and you can create an Google Sheets or an Excel, and
Mm-hmm.
you can win some. You just need to use another tools like, for example, Prospeo. With Prospeo, you can get the email from those leads, and whenever
Mm-hmm.
you have the leads, their information and their email, you can send the CSV to instantly, and you can create a marketing campaign with that.
Okay, understood. So it's because of these various features that, kind of differentiates instantly from other tools. All right, that's good. Now, when it comes to automations, right, like we have three major platforms or like three major players, I would say. Number one is the Zapier. Zapier is actually very good because it has a lot of, inbuilt integrations. It's like very easy to integrate with a lot of other tools out there. Make is also like similar way, and N8N gives you more flexibility. more, extensivity, like you can go beyond the basics, right? So how do you think businesses should decide if they want to go with Zapier or Make or N18?
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult. It's a difficult decision because you have so many pros and cons in some with these tools.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, from my own experience, I will say that Make.com is the easiest one by far.
Okay.
Is the learning curve is not that difficult, so you can
Mm-hmm.
start making automations in less than a week if you watch some videos, if you follow a step-by-step guide. After that you have N8N, which is open source, and you can host your automations, which
Mm-hmm.
is which is amazing
Very true.
because you can create some software. You can do multiple things to keep the privacy of your business and of your clients. That today it's a big issue because some of my clients are very concerned about privacy and about where is their information going. So with some of them we are just working on end, creating some host automations, host
Mm-hmm.
cloud automations. And with that we can use some LLMs like Llama, for example, Llama 3.0. And with that automation we can keep some privacy and we can be safe.
Okay, that's right. Everybody are talking about N18 just because of two things I would say. One is the ability to do customization, like going beyond the basics. You can try to have your own code and have that sort of customization. And also, second most important thing is the self-hosting part, right? Instead of using their cloud service, like you can have your own self-hosting, as you said, which helps you with privacy and data protection as well. So that's like really good when it comes to N18. How do you think is the learning curve for N8? And is it like kind of easier, like, or do we have to put in a lot more time?
Yeah, I think you need to put a little more time. It's a little more difficult
Mm-hmm.
because you have way more options, I would say. For example, if you
Okay.
want to implement a ChatGPT inside
Mm-hmm.
an automation,
Mm-hmm.
in Make is just straightforward. You just put the prompt, you just put some information. You just need to say if it's a user, if it's a system, or
Or,
and
true.
automation is going to start running automatically.
Mm-hmm.
But in NN8 and 8N, you have the AI agent, so you have the ChatGPT model, but after that you can put some other tools, like you can put
Okay.
a database where you have some information. For example, you want to scrape a website from your competitor, you can put the information inside ChatGPT.
Mm-hmm.
So you have like it's a little more difficult, but if you know about this stuff and you know just a little bit about code, for me, I'm just a completely beginner. I just know the basics, but yeah, you have way more options.
Understood. And how do you prefer? Like, do you use the cloud version of N8N or like do you use the self-hosting part? Like, how do you use it?
I'm currently using the cloud version
Okay.
for myself because I
Mm-hmm.
don't have a really powerful computer. And I was doing some research, and I can self-host, but my computer is going to be so slow, so I don't
Very
I don't
true.
want that. And with some of my clients, they have like really good computers with
Mm-hmm.
good amount of GPUs, and we self-host.
Okay. Understood. And do you recommend any go-to resources or like, for example, YouTube videos or any short free resources, I would say, for us to learn, make, and N8N, specifically N8N?
Yes, so specifically N8N. For me, currently, I'm in Spain, so it's a little bit more difficult because if you want to learn about these tools, for example, N8N is from Germany, so a lot of people from Germany are creating really
Okay.
good content about N8N.
Mm-hmm.
And
What
Yeah,
about English
so
creators? Do you have anyone in mind?
yes, so mainly it's difficult because N8N you don't see a lot of videos out there. It's difficult to see some videos, and that's what I'm trying to get into N8 because I'm seeing a competitive advantage over there. For
True.
example, I created some videos last week about N8N, sorry, and it was almost viral. It worked perfectly, and I won like
Wow.
so many followers, so many people from that.
Okay.
And yeah, it's like a blue ocean, and we need to create some content about that because we don't have a lot of influencers or a
Mhm.
lot of people creating content. For example, if you go to make.com, you have really good people like Jack Roberts, Nick Sarraef, um, I would say Stephen G. Pope. With those, they are really good about. They just do great stuff, great automations, and I learned a lot from them. And I'm pretty sure that your following and your followers they can learn a lot from that people. But N8N is a little more a new field, I would say.
Exactly. And I've specifically asked this question because like I've been trying to learn N8N, but I do not get a very good amount of resources. I think in that space, like if we try to use the same documentation what's being given by official N8N, and if we try to do some sort of trial and error, then I think it's good if we start creating more content. We, as you said, like we could have a competitive edge. Like we could become this influences for like N8N is what I would say because it's like very low number of creators that are creating content for N8N, right?
Yeah, I completely agree. And if, for example, the N8N group on LinkedIn, for example, if you
Mm-hmm.
post something about them and you have
Mm-hmm.
like good automations, they always
Okay.
share your post. They always comment, and you can
Okay.
gain a really good market share, I would say.
Understood. Got it. Understood. Awesome. Finally, I think we've kind of come to the end of a session. I would love to end this with the AI tools itself. Now that we have ChatGPT on one side, they have been releasing a lot of their latest models. On the other side, we have Claude by Anthropic. Even they have been releasing a lot of new features, especially with this computer use, wherein it can take the control of your computers and do sort of actions for you, right? And also we have Google Gemini, which has the longest context window, which is also like very powerful. So how do you currently like which is the one that you're using? Like, are you paying or like are you using the free version? And which one would you recommend for businesses to use? Is it like ChatGPT or Claude or Google Gemini? Like, what is it?
Yeah, so I think that the ChatGPT premium version is essential. It's essential for anyone, for any business, for any person,
Okay.
because I mean the the possibilities that you have over there is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
If you are working and you are doing some stuff in your daily operations, it can save you a ton of time. So I'm paying for ChatGPT,
Okay.
and I'm trying to implement Anthropic Cloud, the new version, because I think is really good for copywriting and for understanding behavior and psychology. Whenever I reach out to clients, I think that the answers are amazing,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm trying to get more with AI agents because I think the future of automation is AI agents, but currently we don't have that. We only have like the new Anthropic Cloud version, the computer version. I think it's 3.5 Haiku and Sonnet.
Exactly.
This version they can is going to control your computer, and it's really good. I recommend to your following to watch those videos, and I'm trying to get more into that version.
Okay. Understood. So is that currently you prefer ChatGPT more than Claude, but you're also looking the possibilities of implementing Claude into your workflows, right?
Yeah, I would say like ChatGPT for almost everything, but
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to copywriting and to create some emails, for example, I will
Mm-hmm.
I will prefer Anthropic Cloud.
Yes. Yes. as you said, Cloud is like very good in copywriting. It does a very good way of like mimicking your content. If you give a very good context and those things, that's like really good to do. So awesome. So I think with that we've come to the end of a session, and it's like really great talking to you. I have had the, you know, like I've got an understanding of like how this businesses, automations, and all these work, and especially like how to choose the right platform, right? So is there anything that you would love to add as a final thought to my followers and fellows who are watching?
Yeah, I mean, I think that we are early adopters with this. I think we are still early. So I
Mm-hmm.
recommend everyone to start trying, to start creating some automations to get into AI, because this is a market that is only going to grow for the next 5-10 years. And you can create a win-win situation where you just start trying new things, you are trying to implement some automations, and whenever we discover new tools and new AI power AI agents, for example, it's going to be
Mm-hmm.
the world is going to be different, and the economy is going to be a challenge, because I would say, like, in the next 2 years, almost 90% of the jobs is not they are not going to disappear, but it's going to be different. It's not going to be the same. So
Very
you
true.
just need to leverage some some new techniques, new models, and new strategies.